What? Ah, get out of here, filthy rat.
Look what you've done! You made Spubby run away, and now it will take me all day to find him again!
Spubby? You mean you have a sewer rat for a pet? And you put a collar on him? Besides which, what are you doing in the sewers?
I live in the sewers. Not exactly in this area, though. Now, I'm on the hunt for lost technology.
Lost technology?
People throw away lots of good stuff in the sewers. Radios, old phones, even TVs. I gather and collect everything. I bet you're one of them. You feel so superior, you guys from up there.
Get over yourself, kid, or I'll take a swim and pull you by the ear.
I'd like to see that.
I'm Lars. What's your name, young bully?
I am M.
M? Do you work for the MI6 or the Men in Black?
I chose the name myself, okay? M.R.
Well, M, I need to retrieve those keys over there. I can't say it was a pleasure to meet you.
Not that I care, but careful of the current. There's an undertow in that spot.
I'm more afraid of your rat, to tell the truth. I had a bad experience once, and I still haven't gotten over it. Keep it away from me, okay? I wasn't sure I could reach it by jumping. I could have tried, but it would have been risky. Very risky.
Don't do it!
Are you crazy? Ah, geez, screaming at me in such a precarious moment. I could fall in the water and drown. Or even worse, I could have gotten my coat dirty.
The water current is too strong here. You really risk killing yourself if you jump.
I agree. I know a good suggestion when I hear one. I thought again about the planks I saw on the HPD balcony, but I couldn't go around dragging boards with me. Besides, I didn't know how to drop one through the manhole. Too many problems. I'd have to think of another way. I couldn't reach it even with the tube. The key dropped precisely onto that filthy mound of dirt. I didn't think I could reach the key without fabricating some sort of bridge. I thought again about the planks I saw on the HPD balcony. But besides... there was no sense in... Was it really worth it? Even though the... sometimes... maybe. The window was made... Hey there, kid.
What do you want?
Tell me more about your childhood, thug.
I don't tell my business to the first surfacer that comes down here.
Do you mean superficial?
No, I meant surfacer. That is, a surface inhabitant.
Come on, open up a bit and share.
What a pain in the neck. When we were babies, my parents let me and my 3 brothers drop down a gutter. Then the rat you saw initiated us in the ninja arts. Since then, we've protected this filthy city.
Well, let me guess. M stands for Michelangelo, right?
Exactly.
Let's try again. How'd you end up living down here?
I was born deformed, and for that reason, I was put in a basket by my mother and abandoned on the Miami River. A community of penguins raised me.
Well, now that you're admitting your deformity, I can finally say out loud that you have a head bigger than your body.
Hey, that's not true at all.
Come on. It's not believable that penguins raised you.
They're great animals, you know. I really like them. Unlike bats.
For the last time, tell me the truth about your past.
To protect me from my father, a big guy with asthma who always wore black, I was raised by my uncles. The only bond I have with my parents is a scar on my forehead, inflicted as a newborn during a terrible struggle in which my mother was killed.
This time you got it a little mixed up. Have you got a twin sister, perhaps?
I'm not sure. I just know that my best friend stole the only girl around.
There you go. There was a common element in the kid's tales, being abandoned after he was born. Smell you later, kid. I didn't want to give him my iron tube without proper reason. Better think about it. I thought it was better to look for another solution. Those planks seemed solid despite the moisture. I used one to reach the key. The problem remained of how to reach them. Hey there, kid.
What do you want?
Listen, Rascal. I need a little contribution in terms of physical effort. Take this metal tube and use it to pull down one of those boards.
This is child labor.
But I intend to reward you properly.
Then it's moonlighting.
Come on. Do you want a deal or not?
It depends. What are you offering?
Well, I don't know. Wouldn't money alone be enough?
To use it, I'd have to leave the sewers. And I really don't want that. Find something that I might like, and we'll talk about it.
Little opportunist. Was it really worth it? The kid must only be 10. Apparently he was a collector of lost... About our deal. What do you think of a nearly brand new original pony remote control?
Wow! It's one of those you can control any pony device on the market with. I haven't seen one of those in years. Give me that tube. I'll take care of it.
Good job, young scoundrel. Now give me the tube back. Come on.
No way! If I trade it to the junk dealer, I'll earn enough to buy a nice stuffed sandwich.
A universal pony remote control and a wonderful iron tube in exchange for a nearly rotten board. I got screwed over by a mutant youngster living in the sewers. On the other hand... Green Dart, I'm coming to the rescue. Thanks to a still hand and focused vision, I was finally back in possession of my vehicle. Now, I could freely explore Miami high and low. No trace of the events I would always remember as the night of the challenge. I never liked staining walls. The mannequin had been replaced with those sacks overnight. If one day I had to prove my story, it only would seem like the ravings of a madman. Then I noticed a metallic glitter among the sacks. Adrenaline flooding my body, my hand anxiously moved to reveal an empty tin can with lace tied to it. Burton repeatedly told me to wait a second whenever I was pumped full of adrenaline. It seemed like a vending machine for chewing gum, but actually it contained soft marshmallows. That bad guy's face was haunting me. The kitchen was still closed for the weekend. Bucatinis Manacati. They treat people well around here. Then I saw it. Majestic and creepy. The symbol that attracted me at the Mulzberg mansion took up a good portion of the side facing. From up close, I could determine without a doubt that it wasn't blood. After an entire night, the coloring would have assumed another shade, increasingly turning brown. Nevertheless, it properly played its role, giving me the shivers. Before walking freely around the residence, it would be a good idea to introduce myself to Mr. Mulzberg.
Come in. Buenos días, señor. Do you need anything?
My name is Lazarus Bundy. I'm an investigator employed by the HPD.
La policía? They say the investigations were interrupted for today.
The inspector changed his mind and decided to send me. I'm honestly the best agent in the department.
Bendita Virgen María, gracias. The more people is looking for little Kathrin, and more chance we have to find her.
I agree, Mrs.
Lupe, señor, just Lupe. I'm the housekeeper of the Mulzberg mansion.
Is Mr. Mulzberg home? First and foremost, I need to ask him a couple of questions.
No, lo siento. He left the house a few hours ago. He said he prefers to throw himself into work than staying home waiting for news without doing anything. Estoy segura he'll be back mañana. Tomorrow, I mean.
I understand. In the meantime, do you mind if I carry on my investigation in the mansion?
No, on the contrary. Do como si fuera en your casa.
That door behind you, does it lead to the girl's room?
Oh no, esa is the room of her father, el señor Mulzberg. Unfortunately, he expressly asked me not to let anybody enter. Mr. Mulzberg was in his room at the time of the kidnapping and thinks it no necessary to invade his private space. You can find the girl's room on the upper floor. Both doors are fine.
Well, for once, things were going smoothly. Please stick around. I'll have some more questions soon.
Please do what you can.
So that was the entrance to Kathrin Mulzberg's room. Both entrances were locked. Lupe hadn't warned me about that. But within me, to my core, I knew that something like this would happen. A guy with a mean face and a diabolical goatee. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely, but he was related to Mulzberg. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of wearing one of those shiny suits of armor to parade around the city. Who am I kidding? I still dream of it. What a big face. Aw. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely, but he was related to Mulzberg. He was clutching that medallion as if it could protect him from something terrible. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely. It seemed authentic. The Mulzbergs even had a coat of arms. Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
I found the doors on the upper floor locked. It's not exactly a good way to start an investigation.
Oh, el señor must have locked them all because la policía has finished its investigations. Pero estoy segura que the key is on the upper floor somewhere. El problema es que I don't know exactly where. Do you mind looking for it?
Nah, I'm used to these kinds of situations. Thanks anyway. I'm interested in hearing other opinions about Kathrin Mulzberg.
We all love her in this house. Senor Mulzberg is always buried in the work while Kathrin brings sunshine in these walls. Unfortunately, no obstante she's such a happy girl, she hasn't got many friends.
Her father's name is probably a deterrent for acquaintances, and above all, boyfriends.
God bless you for what you are doing for her. I just know that la señorita is still alive.
Where does this confidence of yours come from?
Dios would never let one of his sweetest creatures be hurt.
I was going to tell her that in real life nobody is ever spared from evil, but I held my tongue. That woman was already upset enough on her own. Stick around, Lupe. I took a look inside the lamp, but the key wasn't there. I took a look inside the lamp. The key hadn't been hidden in the frame of the... I really doubted the maid would have hidden the key in the armor. She wouldn't have risked making such an ancient armor fall, which was probably more expensive than her whole house. The key hadn't been hidden in the frame... The key hadn't been hidden... A radiator wasn't the best hideout for a key. Once, I dropped a key inside the gaps between columns, and it took half a day to recover it. At this point, it should be clear that I have a serious problem with keys. I looked inside the vase in search of the key, but I only found spiderwebs. Way to go, maid. Who would have ever thought to look in there? Well, except me. I peeked behind the shield, but no key. Maybe the key was hidden up there, but it was too high for me to reach it. Was it really worth... Maybe the key... Hello, Lupe.
Do you need...
Stick around. If I needed it, I'd go back to get it. I didn't know much about music, but that sheet music was weird. I wasn't interested in the products. On the other hand, I noticed a side compartment containing some fresh white clothes from the washing machine. An old-style phone, one of those with the rotary dials. In that house, a terrible crime had just been committed. The air in the living room was thick with fear, hate, and anguish. Ah, to hell with it. Maybe some good music would boost morale. Or maybe not. Mulzberg had clearly conveyed that he didn't want me in his room. I didn't understand how that could possibly... Was it really worth it? Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. No matter how... The key hadn't been hidden. I thought it was better. Was it really... Opening the door with a stool would have demonstrated excessive zeal on my part. Maybe, though, the stool could be useful to reach the higher ledge of the door frame. I thought of putting the piano stool in a useful position to reach the top of the frame. I unlocked both entrances to the room, and finally prepared to start my investigation. I only needed a quick glance to realize that something inside that room wasn't as it should be. Not even a minimum sign of struggle, no item out of place, none of the typical evidence usually found at a kidnapping scene. The bed was even made, and I was sure that Eric Mulzberg hadn't had the room fixed up after the alleged crime. Alright, let's try to understand what happened in here. The drawer contained only a few sheets of paper with nothing interesting on them, and a fiberglass bowl containing some little numbers, like the ones used to play bingo. Notes, scribbles, there was no hint or clue on those pages. I didn't want to move them. They might be hiding a clue. The jewelry box contained exactly what I expected. Jewels. Surely they weren't trinkets. That the girl was filthy rich wasn't exactly news. It was stuck, and so in all probability unused. It was stuck. Strange. The bed wasn't disturbed, and yet Kathrin had been kidnapped overnight. That side of the house faced a small backyard, where I could see an unused shed. Directly below the window was a trash can. If the girl decided to get rid of something compromising, all she had to do was throw it in the garbage. I decided to check. It had been a while since I'd practiced with the blue steel. There was nothing of interest to me at the moment. The projector worked only through the insertion of rectangular cartridges, but I couldn't find any of those. There were dolls everywhere in that room. Either Kathrin was really tied to her past, or she was traumatized by it. My skin smells natural, so no need to wash it. Just hygiene products, nothing I wanted to examine thoroughly. I've always suffered from a strange phobia. Strangers' bathrooms terrify me. I thought the room visible on the lower floor was Kathrin Mulzberg's. I didn't understand how... Was it really worth... No matter how hard I... No matter how... Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
Stick around. Just hygiene products, nothing I wanted to examine thoroughly. I thought... It was time to act.
Who are you? And above all, why did you knock down the gate? It was open.
Oh, are you sure? Well, anyway, I'm surprised how many people don't read the newspaper anymore. I am. Lazarus Bundy! Lars to friends, but you can call me Bundy, Mr. Pirate. I'm the detective assigned to the case of young Kathrin.
I'm relieved to see you here. That poor girl doesn't deserve what's happened to her.
Spare me the platitudes and don't go very far. I want to question you personally.
I'm not going anywhere. As if I could. They haven't given me a holiday since '95.
A chicken house. A chicken coop? I mean, a cage for chickens. In this case, there was just one hen, but a very fierce-looking one. I was all out of ideas. Why lock up that poor hen? Come here, sweetie. I was suddenly hungry for broth. I didn't want an egg in my coat. The sight could have fooled me, but surely not the smell. That was rosemary. That shorty with the hook was doing a good job. There were the green and soft leaves of spring, the dry and thorny leaves of summer, and the crispy brown ones, the symbol of autumn. The gardener had done a good job. I could have stolen those keys just to kill time, but I preferred to wait. Surely the need to do that would arise soon enough. Hello, good man. Cut the small talk and tell me everything you know about the crime.
It was late at night when from my shed out back, I heard a loud crash. It gave me a shock. I rushed outside and found Mr. Mulzberg in his robe. I don't know if I was more upset by that spectacle or the sign on the facade.
So you live in the vicinity. The kidnappers were reckless. You could have seen them.
The mansion is really dark at night and very isolated. We're more vulnerable to these sort of crimes than you think.
What do you think was the reason for the kidnapping? Excluding money, obviously.
Kathrin was a very joyful girl. Everybody loved her. But then she refused to leave the house for months.
How come?
I don't know precisely. I mind my own business.
You have a very special talent.
I started for fun after watching a movie, and to my great surprise, I found out I was good at it.
Congratulations. This beaver came out really nice.
Can't you see it's a horse?
Stick around. The back of the house revealed a separate floor. Clearly the back area was reserved for the servants, and they kept it hidden from sight. It was slimy dog food. Despite that, a primal instinct triggered inside me and made me drool. Here, Bridget. Come here, sweetie. Something in the look of that dog told me it didn't want to play. Another one of the gardener's creations. That flamingo was really well done. They contained grain and animal feed. I was fond of that feed. It tasted like ham. I thought it was better to look for another solution. They contained grain and animals. Better stay away from it. The door was locked, but I didn't mind. I could go inside by the main entrance. If my assumptions were right, maybe I would find something useful in the middle. At first glance, I didn't see anything unusual. Then, from the filthy depths of that abyss, something emerged. As my friend Frank would say, bingo. Literally, had I worked this hard just to recover a bingo card? Yet, my intuition urged me to persist with that bingo card. It was impossible to open the lock with my bare hands. I'd need the key. I could have stolen those keys just to kill time. Surely the need to do that. Hello, good man.
Yeah?
Stick around. In that moment, sometimes I was all out of ideas. I thought it was better. Lupe had already put the stool back in its place. If there's one thing I really hate, it's people that can't stand anything left out of place for more than 5 minutes. Those numbers had to mean something. What if they were a clue to the bingo card I found? The card was the right size to be inserted into the projector, almost as if it was specifically created for it. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. The light scattered. A little outdated as technology. Was the girl fond of antiques? I didn't want to move them. Some of those numbers reminded me of something. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. A little outdated as was the girl. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. I thought it was better to look for another solution. I scanned through the volumes displayed in the little bookcase. Greek history, ecology, botany, astronomy. My God, how shameful. There was no comics section. I didn't want to move them. I thought it was better to look for another. There were a bunch of numbers. They had to mean something. I didn't want to move them. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something. I didn't want to move. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36. They had to. Strange. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. In that moment, it didn't seem to be a good solution to me. I scanned through the volumes. My God. There was nothing. I was sure I had set the right code. The first clues to suggest it were the numbers inside the drawer. Based only on those, though, the possible combinations would be countless. I got the key to reading it from the envelope I received the morning before. The lunatic was toying with me as a cat does a mouse, and yet I couldn't help but continue going down that road. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't. Strange. The light scattered. A little outdated as was the girl. The projector worked, but I couldn't. The light scattered. A little outdated was the girl. Better think about it. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. The light scattered. A little outdated as was the girl. The projector, but I couldn't. The light scattered before. Maybe. I scanned through the vault. My God, how shameful. There was nothing. I scanned through the volumes displayed in the little. My God. The light scattered. I was sure I'd solved the code hidden in that card. The card was. The light scattered. A little outdated was the girl. I had no idea how I was able... The peculiar angle of the holes directed the beam of light toward 3 specific points on the bookcase, highlighting 3 syllables. Bal, sa, mo. Balsamo. Italian for balm. Why did Kathrin leave a clue in Italian? No, I was confused. All that work just served to lead me to a hygiene product? I was sure the bingo card was pointing to something inside that room. There was nothing of interest. I didn't want to move them. They might be hiding a clue. Notes. The jewelry box. It was stuck. The room as a whole exuded. Strange. The bed was... There were dolls everywhere in that room, or she was traumatized. I've always suffered. As weird as it might seem, the message hidden in the young girl's room led me to the word balsamo. It's Italian for balm. Still unsure of what I had just found, I took the product in question and looked at it more closely. Nothing. No writing, creases, or rip on the label. No tiny objects hidden in the gooey interior liquid. Just a simple damned balm. For that first day of investigation, I conceded defeat. I'd lost half a day risking my life on unstable makeshift ledges and in smelly sewers. I lost the other half playing bingo with the ghost of the person I was trying to find. Oh, and came away with sticky soap bubbles in my pockets. Yet, I couldn't think of anything I should have done differently. In a way, I was sure I had moved one step closer to the truth. There was going to be no ransom. The egregious Mr. Mulzberg would have been waiting in vain until I found something.